Am I the a-hole for taking my nephew back to my sister's husband after she left him with me? My sister had her baby 6 months ago, and this morning she brought him to my apartment. It was 10 a.m. and I, 19 male, was half asleep. She asked me if I could watch him really quick because she had some stuff to do and call her if anything. He was asleep, so I said okay, but he woke up 20 minutes later crying. I gave him his bottle, and he was calm for a bit, but started crying again. I don't know what to do with babies, so I call my sister. She says she's still stuck running errands, but she'll try to be there soon. When I asked if Ted, her husband, could come get him, she said to leave him alone because he's busy with work at the house. Literally an hour later, and he's still screaming his head off. I tried looking up how to calm him down, so I'm rocking him, trying to play on the floor or showing him my phone, but nothing. He wasn't having it. I called my sister 2 more times. First time she tells me to give him his bottle, which I already did, and says she'll be here soon. Second time she tells me to relax, and she's almost done. Called her again 40 minutes later, but this time it goes to voicemail. Then I started to smell something bad, and it was because my nephew pooped in his diaper. Smell was awful, and I said hell no because I do not have it in me to change a soiled diaper. Nothing I did was making him stop crying. He was red in the face from crying all this time. I texted my sister telling her I was gonna take him to their house, but didn't get a reply. Ted was confused when I got there. I told him my sister said she had stuff to do and left him with me, but my nephew wouldn't stop crying. He has a dirty diaper and my sister won't answer me. Guys, he was so pissed off. He took my nephew and told me thank you for bringing him back. That was it. And when I got back home, my sister was calling me. She was flipping out asking why the hell did I took the baby back to their house when she told me not to. It's because she told Ted she was taking my nephew to her friend's house to have breakfast so her friend could see him, and now he's mad at her because obviously she didn't do that. My parents told me they're in the middle of a huge fight, and I should have stayed out of it and babysat my nephew. I don't know what's going on. All I know is Ted is not talking to her. My sister called me a couple of times to tell me stuff, and she can't believe I was such a horrible brother that I couldn't do one simple favor for her when she needed it. Now I'm feeling bad, and I don't know if I should have done different. Was I an a-hole for taking my nephew back instead of waiting for her to show up? Edit. Since some of you are focused on the dirty diaper thing, yeah, it makes me sick and want to puke just seeing my sister do it. Not gonna have kids because I'm not built for that stuff and wasn't gonna even try it with him. Also, he wasn't with a dirty diaper that whole time. Less than 15 minutes because as soon as I knew it was a dirty diaper, I drove him to their house. He definitely wasn't dirty before that because he was making a face when he did go, and that's when the bad smell came. Now for the top comments. Not a hole. Who lied to her husband? Your sister. Who lied to you? By omission? Your sister. Who did pick her phone when her baby was left with a babysitter? Your sister. Who's responsible for the situation? Your sister. I had a It Was Agatha All Along song running through my head reading this. And I cheated on my husband too. Not a hole. Sounds like your sister is having an affair. Shame on her for putting you in the middle. Holy smokes. I didn't even think about that. Enjoy the waning innocence of utopia. The world and the adults who inhabit it are generally crap. Not a hole. It sounds like your sister just got caught cheating on her husband. Neither the affair or her getting caught are your fault. Your parents are either being lied to about what happened or are a-holes for enabling your sister. You didn't insert yourself in this situation. Your sister dragged you in. My brother-in-law was seen kissing another woman at a bar one night, texted his wife the next day asking for a divorce, and spent the next several months swapping heart emojis on Facebook with the other woman, and my in-laws insisted didn't cheat. Some people just want to be delusional. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for kicking out my pregnant sister after she accused my girlfriend of cheating? Years ago, I discovered my older sister, Lisa, was cheating on her fiancé. First, I confronted her about her affair, and she begged me to not reveal her affair to her fiancé as she was coming clean. I told her fiancé. He called off the engagement and broke up with her. She was very devastated about the whole ordeal and blames me for the failure of her relationships. My girlfriend, Anna, and I have been dating for 4 years. She's wonderful, and I cannot wait to marry her someday. My sister doesn't like my girlfriend, or rather, she's convinced that she's cheating on me. Every single interaction my girlfriend has with another man is, according to Lisa, is evidence of her infidelity. This is very obviously absurd, and has led to Anna and I distancing ourselves from Lisa and blocking her on all social media. Currently, my sister has a 3-year-old daughter and is pregnant with her second child. Her boyfriend recently got laid off, and she doesn't work. Unfortunately, they can't stay in their apartment right now, so they asked me if they could move in with us. My girlfriend was very sympathetic to their situation and agreed to have them stay with us. My niece adores Anna, and they get along well. Lisa wasn't making inappropriate comments directed at my comment. She wasn't insinuating that Anna was cheating on me. She was rather respectful, and I think my girlfriend and I really appreciate the change in attitude. A couple of days ago, Anna received the tragic news that her friend, Ben, unexpectedly passed away. Ben and Anna were very close friends, and they clearly held a lot of love for each other. Anna's very obviously devastated by his death, and though she's been very busy in trying to distract herself, I do want to give her time to properly grieve his death. At first, Lisa was being rather respectful, until she wasn't. Lisa asked a question about how they met, and Anna showed her a picture of the both of them in primary school. In the picture, Anna and Ben are holding hands, and Anna has a big grin on her face. Now, I don't know the backstory of this picture, but I know that it's not the smoking gun of my girlfriend's infidelity. From that point, she's been confronting me with useless proof. Lisa has been telling me to watch out for my girlfriend, questioning why she was so upset with Ben's death, why she still has pictures from where they were dating in primary school. Spoiler, they've never dated before. I told her to shut up. Lisa, while Ben's brother had come to visit Anna in our home, heavily insinuated that my girlfriend was an easy girl because she moved on from one brother to the next. This was extremely disrespectful, and so I yelled at her and kicked her out. Now I'm starting to feel guilty. My sister has nowhere to stay. My parents aren't very fond of her boyfriend, so staying with them isn't the best option, and Anna and my niece were having a great time. I'm starting to feel bad. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. You made it clear to Lisa that her advice was unnecessary regarding Anna. She didn't get the message. If you want to be nice, give her one more opportunity so that she can work it out. Because there is a child in the mix. Make it absolutely clear that what Anna does or does not do regarding your relationship has absolutely nothing to do with her. And any comment regarding Anna will result in you asking her to leave in next days. It's a shame. I think bonding with my niece was putting a good smile on Anna's face. That's another reason I didn't want to kick them out. Not the a-hole. So the boyfriend can't get along with your parents and your sister can't get along with your partner. I'd say they are the problem. You don't need that disrespect in your own home. I know. I feel really bad for Anna though. She doesn't need all this right now. Not the a-hole. Hey, your sister made her bed. Now she can sleep in it. Just not in your house. Not the a-hole. Sounds like your sister is projecting hard, or she wants to make others feel as miserable as she does. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I don't know how to help her and I don't want to get involved when she suggested stuff? My sister, 32 female, got married in August. She has 2 kids, ages 11 and 10, while her husband has a child who is 8. My sister and her husband were dating for 4 years, and the kids were introduced a year in. Back when they were still in those early stages, my niece and nephew told her they didn't want a step family. She took them to therapy, and then about 6 months later brought her husband, then boyfriend, in. The kids did not have a change of heart, and my sister decided they would just need to deal. And so she moved in with him, they got engaged, and then during the pandemic they got married in what was supposed to be them and the kids. But my niece and nephew ended up with my parents because they didn't want to go to the wedding. It broke my sister's heart. I remember talking to them the day before the wedding about it and asking them why they were so against it. And they explained they didn't want a stepdad or a step-sibling, and they didn't know why it couldn't be just them. I told them he made their mom happy, and if he was nice to them, maybe they could not call him stepdad, but still give him and his son a chance to be people they care about. It didn't work, obviously. Since that point, nothing has changed. They resist spending time as a family, and they resist time with just stepdad/stepbrother. And my sister is frustrated and angry because her husband is not happy that his son feels left out and unwanted. Their marriage has hit some hurdles. She talked to the kids and asked them why they were so resistant. And they said it's because they don't like or love either of them and that they don't need them. My sister came to me and asked me to help, and I told her honestly that I didn't know what I could do. She told me I could get a little firmer with them, and since they trust and listen to me, as well as confide in me about this stuff more easily, that I could add pressure to make them come around. I told her I did not want to get involved like that it could end up hurting my relationship with them if they feel like I've turned against them. I said I honestly think they will just need to talk it out with therapists, and whatever ends up happening, happens, and I don't know that anything we can do really change it. She told me I wasn't a very good aunt and sister if that's how I feel, and how I respond when asked to help something that is very important. I offered that I could maybe try to encourage it more gently again, and she told me that was the same as doing nothing. I do feel bad. I just honestly think that pushing has not helped any relationship so far. They're not as close to my sister or my parents because they came down harder on them. And if they feel isolated from everyone, it could easily discourage them wanting to try because who knows what resentment could build. So now I'm wondering, am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Stuff like this is hard for kids. And you should never be in a position where you have to fear losing the good relationship to them because of your sister's choices. I know this is off topic now, but for me it seems like she rushed this decision without giving enough space for her children to express their feelings, so now they wall up against everything. And I think it's not your job nor responsibility to fix this now and give your niece and nephew the feeling of everyone being against them. Staying as neutral as possible here is probably the best. Good luck. Not Dayhall. I think your sister is trying to place a completely unreasonable burden on you. As you say, the real risk here is damaging your existing relationship with your niece and nephew. You can continue to try your gentle approach and anything else you feel comfortable doing. Not Dayhall. OP, maybe because your sister's kid seems to like and respect you so much, you could lead by example and develop a relationship with stepson. Make a point of spending some time with him each time you visit. Play a game that he likes, etc., and the other two will eventually follow. They'll want to know what cool auntie finds so interesting about this kid. Good luck, Opie. You're doing great so far. That has actually never helped. We've been developing a relationship slowly over time, and I have tried to make it seem interesting to the kids. But no dice. It will eventually, if you take the little boy out for ice cream or to a park or whatever. There's no obligation on you. But if you do want to help, Above's suggestion does seem to be the best idea. You just build a positive relationship with the boy, and if the older kids want to participate, they'll have to be civil. If they'd rather stay home than participate because the little boy is there, let them. Don't force it. The little boy will get extra attention that might help him while his older step-siblings are acting poorly. That's what they do. Before COVID and stuff happened, step-nephew and I had spent some time together. I'm saying step-nephew to make it more clear who I'm talking about to others. We do ice cream or pizza occasionally, and my niece and nephew never wanted to come. They never wanted to join us for Mario Kart or the park. Not saying it might never work, but I don't see it as something that will get them interested, no matter who is involved. Yet, when it's just them and me, they jump at the chance. Last story is titled, Would I be the a-hole if I kick my brother and his wife out even though I know they can't support themselves and their newborn baby? Okay, so this is complicated to me. So I, 23 male, am kicking my brother, 25 male, out at the start of the month. A little backstory. My brother and his wife, 23 female, who is pregnant at the time, were kicked out of her mom's house back in September of 2020. My brother asked if he could move in with my wife, 22 female, and me for a few months while he got another job and made enough to get a place for him and his family. I was okay with it, so he moved in with his wife. I set them up in the living room on a fold-out couch. As months went by, he did find a job, but kept saying he was looking for one, and he had no way to get to any interviews. He and his wife refused to clean the house, and make such a mess that my wife was becoming increasingly frustrated with him. I offered to take him to work. All I ask is for him to find something. anything. Even the simple ones like fast food restaurants, because a job is better than no job, right? I kept reminding him that his baby is on the way and get a job. Well, my nephew was born in January, and he still hasn't gotten a job. After I kept persisting, did he actually make an attempt at finding one? After 5 months. He worked for a month with hardly any problems and was paying rent finally. So when I asked him how much longer it would be till he was ready to move out, he said he wasn't sure because he was buying a car. This did not bother me because he needed it to get to work without me taking him there. It gave me a break. The problem really came when he got the car. He started to not go to work. Instead, he would drive all day and night and sleep when it was time to work. I asked him what was going on, and all he could say was, "Don't worry, I still have a job," and then shut me down every time I persisted. Well, a week ago I was at work and my wife called me on the phone saying I needed to get home immediately because my brother cussed her out. I get home and my wife explained that she said she's worried they aren't saving any money, and he started cussing her out saying, "Don't count my pockets." I told him I will count your pockets anytime I feel, because I need to make sure he leaves like he said he would. He told me to go screw myself. If he doesn't want to let me know how much money he is saving back then, he needs to set a date to leave and stick with it. He said to give him till the end of the month. I agreed. So he is scheduled to leave at the beginning of the month. But I know for a fact he will not have enough money to get into a place or take care of their newborn baby. So I guess what I'm asking is, am I the a-hole if I kick my brother and his wife out, even though I know they won't be able to support themselves and the baby? Edit. My wife agreed to have them move in. She thought it would be okay to help. She views my brother as an older brother, though we both slowly started to resent him and his behavior over time. She lost faith in them quicker than I did. I came to their defense longer than I should have. Not Dayhall. If you don't kick them out, they will never, and I mean never, leave. They'll always have an excuse. Don't feel bad for wanting them to move out. You were generous enough to let them stay for a few months, and now their time's up. Also, they decided to have a child, so now they need to step up and be responsible adults. I agree. I feel like I am financially taking on the responsibility of the baby. I spent over $1,500 to make sure my brother had everything the baby needed. Yeah, they're definitely taking advantage of your generosity. Just do what you feel is best for you. Not Dayhall, but your brother absolutely is for putting his family in this situation. This is entirely on him. It makes me wonder why they were kicked out of their last place, and if there are mental health or addiction issues at play. You set the boundaries you need to. You are not in the wrong. I agree with you. However, addiction is not one of the issues. He sleeps and plays video games all day. But recently, when getting his car, has been on the road. I don't know where he goes. I was just curious, since his behavior sounds odd. But some people are just selfish and irresponsible. I want to add, it was kind of you to let them stay with you as long as you did. Please don't feel guilty that there are consequences to your brother's choices. If I didn't know him as well as I do, that would have been a really good guess. Thank you for your support and advice. It means a lot.